Hi everyone, it is me, Xena Fighter Elderling here, or Xena Pappas here, or Xena Amphipolis here, or whatever you want to call me. So today we're going to talk about, okay. So today we're going to talk about, do folks have the right to get irked or angry over how someone else handles their own work? The answer would be, first off, why would someone get irked or angered over how someone else handled their work? If it wasn't their work and they don't have the ownership or double right over the work, then getting irked and angered over it is a blow of time. Now, you got folks out there who are against anything being cleaned or shifted or skimmed or whatever you want to call it. These are folks who bitch about, news sheets and books and monthlies being cleaned in some way. They also bitch about shows, films, and plays and songs and that being cleaned. But the grounds to this is that there are going to be folks out there who, get angered or irked over WWE cleaning out things. Some folks think, oh, well, you have the ownership and double right to the work, but you don't have the right to clean or skim it or cut it. Well, that includes, a double right also includes shifting or skimming or cleaning or cutting or whatever you want to call it. And the grounds to why these folks get irked or angered over it, because they think A, it takes away from the show, or B, it makes it unwatchable. Well, in their belief, it makes it unwatchable. And then they get irked over it, or they get angered over it, or they get angered and irked. They get irked and angered over it at the same time. And then they'll ask the asking thing, oh, why does WWE have to clean their shows to begin with? And the truth is, and this will also piss some folks off, is WWE chose to be kin-friendly again in 2008 YL. And when they chose to be kin-friendly again, there were some oversights, some standards that they had for themselves to follow, their standards. But it also could include the folkwork standards too. You see, a lot of folks think that someone made them be kin-friendly again. No, they chose to become kin-friendly again in 2008 YL. And by doing so, there were high standards they set for themselves, but also the standards of, the folkworks. And the folkworks right now that got any of WWE shows, at least in the 4-1 rights right now, includes USA and Fox. Soon to include Netflix, CW, and USA soon. And a lot of folks think that, that they don't have the right to, skim or shift or clean their work in any way, or they get irked over how they choose to do it. They're like, oh, all you need to do is just put this loudness thing over, anytime someone says a curse word that's not good. Well, keep in mind that they just hush it out. They clean it out with nothing. So that's how they choose to do it. And also they now choose to start blacking out the show anytime that something is said or done that goes against their standards of being kin-friendly. But most of the time, it's not even the folks in WWE that you could guilt for it. Most of the time, it's the folks at the show. the ones saying and doing things that that WWE doesn't think is right on their show, and also the folk works don't think is right for the show. So it's both of them have to come up with ways to clean it, and that's their new way of doing it. Now, the hush one is only when someone says a curse word. There's the blackout, I guess, when someone is either doing something that is not right. Now, I know a lot of folks out there are going to say, well, what about the freedom of free speech? Yes, the right to free speech, or the freedom of free speech, it's not being taken away. Only the law moat can take it away, and the law moat upholds your rights that God gave you. But those rights does not include, but it doesn't mean that it's right to be said or shown on a THIER show. Or so WWE as in their right to either clean it and which way they feel that needs to be cleaned in. And some folks seem to think that the cleaning and skimming of it, they seem to think it goes higher up. They don't really see, folks seem to think that, oh, well, it's the new ownership and the new leadership, it's in TKO Endeavor. They're like, oh, Ariel Odell and Patrick Whitesell and Mark Shapiro telling Nick Kong to tell Hunter Hearst Helmsley, we got to skim this shit out. Well, most likely, I don't really know who makes the call, but someone happens to hear or see something that's not right, and they got to choose whichever cleaning they think would work. So if someone watching the show, an onlooker, a seer, watcher, says something, and a lot of them say it, then it's going to be skimmed out. Now, if they do something like they did at the Elimination Chamber or Forget Room, then it's going to be blacked out, and that's another standard. It's not the wrestlers that they are skimming or cleaning or anything, because what they're saying is mostly is all right. It tends to be the folks at the shows, the onlookers, the seers, the watchers, the ones who either go to the house shows or to the live shows or whatever, and start saying things like, holy shit, like that's one of the big ones, I like to say. Or sometimes they like to go say, fuck, or other things. And sometimes these folks go a step above that and start, flipping, showing folks the middle finger, whatever other things they're doing that WWE and their folk work don't think is right, and then they have to clean it out. So at the end of the day, if someone wants to get irked or angered over WWE, how they handle their shows, either they got the ownership and the double right that goes along with their shows, and that includes who they get streaming and broadcast deals with. That includes if they get to put it on film or disc. It also includes how they go by cleaning it out. So at the end of the day, you can be irked and angered over it all you want. Yes, you do got that right. I'm not going to say that you're wrong. But at the end of the day, don't think that you being irked or angered over it is really going to shift anything. Or somehow, some way, thinking that you're going to get them to say, oh, geez, we're sorry that we had to clean and skim out curse words and folks, showing middle fingers or whatever else they were doing. We're so sorry that you don't like how we're so sorry that we do things to our we're so sorry for how we handle our shows, even though at the end of the day it's our shows and we have the ownership and double right, which they do. but we're sorry you don't like how we go by cleaning it. And then before I end this film, I'm just going to say, thank you for watching this film. Thumb up, share, playlist. Don't forget to hit the bind, the follows, hit the ringer. Xena Melinda Pappas, or Xena Fighter Aldeling, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. Farewell. So long. Now it's doing this shit again. Come on.